So if you know me, this is not a surprise at all, but when I was younger, I was kind of obsessed with supernatural things. I mean, I still am, I guess. Yeah, I still am. But when I was younger, it was scary how obsessed I was with things like Doctor Who and Scooby-Doo. I still am obsessed with them. Now I have other things. There's more to my personality now than ghoulies and goblins. I was obsessed with anything like scary but like still safe for kids because I was actually still quite easily frightened. So Doctor Who and Scooby-Doo were perfect, and I love all these different little monsters that they made and kind of like how you could defeat them. I really thought I was going to be like the next Time Lord because I could defeat anyone. So much so that when I was about 9 or 10, I'm hoping no older than 10, but definitely no older than 12, I made my own monsters and I kept them in a folder, and I thought I would share them with you today because they are terrible. Welcome to the Monster Book of Monsters, Sam P edition. I can't draw. I never have been able to do that. So I don't know why I decided I would make an entire book of drawings of monsters I created, because they're all terrible. I thought we'd go through, see if we think I could defeat them now, whether or not there's some potential. I might send this off to Chris Chibnall for Doctor Who, and then let's rate them, because why not? Because numbers are fun. So first of all, we have the Sludger Blob. The Sludger Blob. That's Jabba the Hutt. The Sludger Blob's hands have special mud that takes over somebody's body. The Sludger... That's a Sludder Blob. The Sludder Blob travels the world trying to turn humans into mud. This was a Doctor Who story. Season 11.
See? The mud is alive. Well, no, I'm not sure it's mud at all.
Chris Chibnall. Where's my royalties? I really hate the design of him. I don't like his black hand and how one's like chubbier than the other. I also enjoy 10 Sludger Blob flax, but then 10 is rubbed out and replaced with a 5, but then I've gone up to 6. That's really clever. So let's go through these Sludger Blob facts. Sludger Blob. God, make it easier to say that. Number 1, the Sludger Blob's eyes can make mud become alive. Just the eyes? So any mud he looks at becomes alive. I don't know what that means. The mud gets sentience. He makes it come alive. I assume that means he can control mud, not he gives it free will. 2, the Sludger Blob is supposed to be from Mars. Ah yes, that famously muddy planet. But also I like that it's supposed to be from Mars. We don't actually know. A little bit of mystery. That way we can develop the backstory of the Sludger Blob in like an episode or 2. Number 3, the Sludger Blob was first a man, but he's supposed to be from Mars. Your writing is inconsistent here. 4, oh, here we go. The Sludger Blob got to Earth by a meteor. Right, so there's a lot of different things going on here that all contradict you. So he's supposed to be from Mars, but he's also meant to be a man, but also he came to Earth by a meteor. So a man was sent to Mars, got stuck on a meteor? How do meteors work? Is it just a chunk of Mars fell off and crashed to Earth and he was on it? What even made him become mud? And then number 6, because who needs number 5? The Sludger Blob's body is made from tiny metal atoms as well as mud. Tiny metal atoms. I'm no chemist. Chemist? I got a C in human biology and it really shows here. Tiny metal atoms. Well, all atoms are tiny. Metal? I don't know if that's exclusive to the Sludger Blob, but apparently it is. So here's how you defeat the Sludger Blob, if ever you come into contact with him. A magnet can defeat the Sludger Blob because his body is stuck together with metal. Full stop. I think that's quite a big flaw, based purely on the fact that anyone with like a fridge can defeat you. I'm gonna say Sludger Blob, you're getting 2 out of 10, quite easy to defeat. Actually, I'm gonna give you 3 out of 10 and get a bonus point because you were made before Chris Chibnall thought of the idea. The next one is, it's a whole bunch of them. It's the Army of Ghost Kids. The Empty Child. This is clearly just a rip-off of The Empty Child.
Are you my mummy?
Outside, old clothes were worn because the ghost in them needed hairy fabric. Why? Why do they need hairy fabric? Also, what's hairy fabric? The ghosts only possess children wearing the finest Burberry. So on the outside, this is how they look, patched up apparently, and with black eyes. But then on the inside, they're all ghosts. The kids have ghosts in their body that controls them. Nothing else, just ghost. No bones. I think they have a brain and a nose, apparently. You've still got an internal nose. In the kid's brain, tiny atoms help the ghost in the kid's body take it over. What's up with tiny atoms? This must be a thing that they talked a lot in like different monster shows, was atoms, because I'm talking so much about atoms and knowing not anything about them. The ghosts travel through bodies till it finds the right one. Don't we all? Water dissolves into the ghost kid's body and burns the ghost inside. So, rain can defeat the army of ghost kids. And giving you a 1 out of 10 because you are terrible. Next one is the Manda Man. His orb can scan people and then trap them. I like his design actually. No shoulders. I couldn't really draw shoulders for a long time, so you'll notice no one has shoulders. I like his little vortex he can control. The Manda Man can use his power to make the trees attack people. That's fun. I like that. Like the Wizard of Oz trees, they throw apples at them. I think that's literally what's happening. He's so happy with himself. The Manda Man lives in a cave that had another meteor that gave him power. So, cinematic universe, the Sludger Blob's meteor crashed into his cave and gave him power. That's exciting. Look at this like universe I'm building up. If a rock hit the orb, it would let out the people in it and suck in the Manda Man. Okay, that's again a very easy thing to be defeated. I'm guessing it's not specifically a rock. Like, basically, if you smash his orb, he will be defeated. I think that's how you defeat the Absorbaloff as well. It's an easy way to defeat him, but we assume he takes good care of his orb, and I imagine it'd be quite difficult to get out of his hands. I don't know why he traps people in his orb or why he gets trees to attack them, but I really like that combination of powers, so I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. Overloads. The static electricity could electrocute anyone. Overload can even spit it out. Oh my god, this is so difficult to read. An injection of oil short circuits overload and hell blow up. How do you... I don't understand how you inject living electricity with oil. And also very specific, an injection. Overload can take off people's head and go on their bodies. She's got shoulders. Why do they need human... What are they? Lots of mystery here. More overloads came and eventually went together to turn into a killing machine. That's cool, but it's also the magnet Pokemon. I clearly stole it from that. Overload can camouflage into anything. Whoa! And as we can see, it's camouflaged into part of a Disneyland billboard and is electrocuting people like that. That's quite a scary thing to think about. It doesn't really have a purpose. It's just kind of there to kill and take over people's bodies, which is like a common theme within all my creations. I'm gonna go with 7 out of 10 for the overloads. They're not original, but I think they're the most threatening ones so far. Next up is the Dander Dragon. The dragon's minge, no. The dragon's wings were from Mars, so he can disappear anytime. From Mars as well, but just the wings. Apparently, Dander dragons buy their wings from Mars but come from elsewhere. But Mars, same with the Sludger Blob's meteor. The dragon can breathe fire to burn her enemies. She's a gal. I like that because I feel like when I was 9, fingers crossed I was 9 when I made this, I was very much, girls suck, everything cool is a boy. So I like that I was inclusive and made the Dander Dragon a girl. This is my favorite method of like chaos I've ever seen. The dragon can pick up people and drop them into a burning hole. Not just a hole, not just like flames, a burning hole specifically. If you got a burning hole, see a doctor. I'm obsessed with that. Also, how do you burn a hole? A hole is nothing. Fantastic, iconic. And the only way to kill the dragon is to use a beager to turn it into an egg and destroy... Babe Ager. She can breathe fire, classic dragon. She has invisible wings, not anything else. And she can pick up people and drop them in a burning hole, and the only way to defeat her is to go back in time to when she was a baby and destroy the eggs. Basically, she's invincible. I'm gonna give her a 10 out of 10. The Spirit of Kofu. I've really got lazy with some of these designs. Before Kofu died, he crashed his car and got a scar on its head and used it to kill people. I have several scars. I would never kill anyone with my scars, Kofu. Kofu's ghost can capture people and feed on them just by thought. So a scar creates a cage. I think it's meant to be like a ray, like a beam, that he just like shoots at people through his head. I feel like this could be a Doctor Who villain, and it'd be one where it's like, oh, give them everything. Think about all the good times we've had together. And you like overload it, and it's like, you want happy memories? Take him! So I feel like it's actually quite realistic. Fire can destroy Kofu and restore peace to him, so you just have to set him ablaze. Also, setting a ghost on fire? I don't understand the legitimacy of that. And for that reason, I'm going to give you a 6 out of 10. The Skeleton Rider. The skeleton horse's bones can hover. It's a skeleton horse. Minecraft, I'm guessing. I feel like this is a thing in Minecraft, so I probably stole it from there. Skeleton bones can hover. So not only is it a bony horse, it's a floating bony horse. Skeleton's reflection has lines all over it. Why? I think there's meant to be something to do with like a doppelganger whose reflection is different, and that's how you can recognize it. But I don't think you need to have a differentiating way of finding out what's the Skeleton Rider and what's not. It's very clear the Bone Man is not good. The skeleton can rearrange his body into something better. Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. That's what this is. Smoke deattaches the bones of the skeleton, same with the horse. So again, fire, you could just you could defeat the Skeleton Rider and the Spirit of Kofu simultaneously. Skeleton Rider, I'm gonna give you a 4 out of 10. No. Skeleton Rider, I'm going to give you a 2 out of 10. You're not very original. The Rarsandas. The Rarsandas are joined together, so they can work together. There's different shapes they can be. Electric eels, a stink bug, or question marks. Rarsandas were first an egg feeding off the shell. By the way, remember, they can change into anything. The overloads could do that. But I think what I was implying with the overloads was that they can change into anything technical. That's why it was meant to be like an electric billboard. So they can change their face to blend in. I think these things can genuinely change into Cosmo and Wanda. That's what they are. Again, the Rarsandas can transform into anything, including a person holding a gun. There's consistency though, because everything that they turn into has 3 eyes, and one's a girl and one's a boy. This is how you defeat it. The Rarsandas can transform into a spaceship, and if you shot its mouth, one will die, then the other. In order to defeat them, you need to come up with a situation which you can trick them into turning into specifically a spaceship. These creatures that can turn into absolutely anything, you need to make sure they turn into a spaceship with a mouth, and then shoot the mouth. Then one will die, and then the other. Now that I realize how much of this is just kind of like killer Cosmo and Wanda, I'm not in love with it. I do like the specificity of having to get them to be a spaceship. I think that could be some fun hijinks, thinking about how you could trick them into getting into that. I'm gonna give them a 5 out of 10. The Lumberman Maniac. Look at that chainsaw. The man became the maniac when he died wearing a strange mask. I don't know if the mask was related to the death. Who knows? The maniac uses the mask, puts little... What? Oh, these are 2 separate. The maniac uses his tools to kill people. His tools being a chainsaw and a gun. The mask puts little things in the man's head that control his brain. I always try and get into the science of how it works. It's always atoms or chemicals or something going on in the brain. It's not just he's possessed. It's very specific. Also, I cannot differentiate what's going on inside his brain other than there are little dots, and his brain is clearly in the crown of his head. The maniac can be defeated if you take off his mask when he's sleeping. I like when he's sleeping. If you take it off when he's awake, that's not going to do anything. So really, it's not really the Lumberman Maniac. It's the strange mask that made this guy, that put stuff in this guy's brain to make him chainsaw people to death. I think there could be something more here. I think there's some development that could be done with the Lumberman Maniac. He's clearly got a deep backstory and lore. Maybe, in fact, this isn't the mask's fault, and he just thinks it is. Whoa. Lumberman Maniac, you have potential, but you kind of suck. So we're gonna go 5 out of 10 again. The Man of Flight. He's by far the worst looking one so far. The man's eyes flash when he is about to lift something. That's the most useless power ever. He'd be good in a gym. All the man's organs don't work, except one that makes lift things. You know, that organ we all have that makes lift things. The man can lift people up and throw them away. So he's telepathic, basically. The Man of Flight implies that he can fly, but no, he just makes things fly. Also, gutted he doesn't have any organs. That's problematic. If he were to put a mirror in front of the man, he would zap it, but it would bounce back and kill him. Classic situation to someone that has a projectile superpower is the mirror bounce backs and hits them. So it doesn't make sense why his zapping power would kill him. If anything, I think it should just make him fly so high he goes into the atmosphere or something like that. And since he doesn't have lungs or blood or anything, I assume, other than that one organ that lifts things, I think he would survive in outer space and he would just be kind of floating, think about what he's done. But also, he's not done anything nefarious. He doesn't have any bad intentions. He just makes things fly. I think he could be a future ally, maybe an anti-hero. Man of Flight, we're giving you 6 out of 10. The Ice Creature. Kind of liking this jagged diamond in design, very interesting. The creature uses an ice shield to defend and destroy. Who's it hurting? What's it defending? Questions that could be answered. The creature was first a star that crashed into Pluto. Heyo! New planet alert. The creature can crack ice and can make its enemies fall in. It can just crack ice. Imagine if Frozen, Elsa was like, I'm the Snow Queen. I can't make snow, but I can like dissolve it. The creature will melt if you put salt on it. Ice creature, you had so much potential, but between your lack of actually being threatening at all, the fact that salt can defeat you, ice creature, you're getting 3 out of 10. The Room of Doom and Centorana. The room can rearrange the furniture into anything you want. What I think I meant here was that the room can change its form into any room. It's not just like 3 tables and a chair, and it's like, oh, sometimes the chair is pulled out, sometimes the chair is upside down. It's like, but everything can change. A button is disguised in the room. If you press it, boom! By the looks of this little stick man going everywhere, he's trying to find the button. So I would say that's how you defeat it, is you find the self-destruct button. Behind the room is a Centorana that feeds off electrocuted victims. Why can't you just eat people? Why have you got to electrocute them? I always overcomplicate it. The room can actually make people think they've died and then electrocute them. What? It makes you think you're dead, then kills you, then eats you, as opposed to just eating you so you're dead. Room of Doom, love the concept, terrible execution, I'm giving you 2 out of 10. For Ninia Tenamanaropapai, or Ninia. That's obviously stealing the Jagrafess from season 1 of Doctor Who. He's also terribly designed. I clearly just draw shape and then I'm like, that's the monster. His tail can sense humans. So can mine. The Nina is really clever. Good to know. Smoke dissolves the Nina and turns it into a puddle. Smoking! Again? Come on. He's just a smart guy that can tell when humans are coming. This is just some dude. 0 out of 10, Nina. The Dead Bride. The bride was crying because when she was getting married, she and the groom were killed and then the dead groom divorced her. Brutal! So you died together and then straight after death, your dead partner was like, also, this isn't working. If someone, anyone kissed the bride on the lips, she would have her soul gone to heaven. Or hell. The bride used her anger to kill people. I like this idea of emotions kind of controlling supernatural powers, and clearly she's got like the storm behind her. That's quite cool. She's also clearly like the Bride of Frankenstein, or, well, it's the Corpse's Bride. But I never saw the Corpse's Bride because it scared me too much, just the trailer. If this is the plot of the Corpse's Bride, let me know, because I predicted it and then stole it. I like how we don't know if she's going to heaven or hell as well. It's a good touch. I'm gonna give her a 6 out of 10. She's alright. The Dead Groom. The groom invented weapons for defense, but he used to get out of a marriage. Uh-oh. The bride's anger could destroy the groom. The groom tried to kill the bride. It worked, but some killed him, groom. What? I think I have a full story here, but it sucks. And there's a little man here that says, I thought it said Manchero, and that was the name of the guy that killed him, but it's Man Hero. Clearly I was going through something here. The groom kind of sucks. He's trying to kill his wife. I don't really know why, other than she's angry. Let's go with a 2 out of 10 for the groom. The Thing. The man became the Thing when he fell into a volcano. Water will wash off the lava, and he might just live. It's not how anything works. Also, The Thing. Sam, you knew that was already a thing. It's -1 out of 10. The Watcher. The Watcher has henchmen to advise him and help him. One of them is wearing like a baseball cap. He's pretty cool. I like his skin is made out of faces. Classic kind of horror. The Watcher sends a curse to someone. In 2 years they will die and their eyes are used for clothes. Ooh, that's fun. Don't like eyes being stolen here. Used for clothes. That's all he wants is clothes. That's such a good motive. He's just a fashion designer. He doesn't want world domination. He just wants a nice runway. To destroy him, you have to take the ball away and blow up the vase. So I'm guessing that ball detaches from the stand it's on, and then you have to destroy the base, but not the ball. Pretty interesting, because you would think you would destroy the ball like you do with the Mandaman, but actually it's the base you need to destroy, so you could do a good fake out ending where like the hero comes in and smashes the ball and it's like, that's it, done, we won, but actually it's the base is the most important part. It's a good twist. Good motive. He's got friends. In terms of design, I like the eyes being used. Pretty good way to defeat him. I think he's best so far. Let's go 10 out of 10 for the Watcher. Raxo. This is a Slovene. Raxo, it's clearly taken from Raxacoricophalopatorius, pretends to hide as a skinnier person. This is very stolen, not original in the slightest. Stolen, criminal, minus infinite out of 10. Opra. The Opera complained about her arms and lost them when she died. There you go, girls. If you're insecure about your arms, don't complain about them, because you might lose them when you die. When the Opera was young, she had tons of accidents. Clumsy bitch. The Opera kills people by singing. If no one can hear the Opera sing, she will die. And apparently all you have to do is put her microphone on mute. Game over for the Opera. Don't know why she wants to kill people. I don't know why her having accidents is essential to her character. She's very easy to kill. Also clearly just like gender bent Phantom of the Opera. So we're gonna go with a 2 out of 10 there. Slecko. That is the laziest design thing I've ever seen. I'm not even going to give it the time. You don't even get a rating, Slecko. This one's called Sam, and it stands for Super Angry Monster. All of Sam's anger is turned into steam. I'm going through something. Steam from Sam can call his relatives. I've never seen such like obvious channeling of anger than to literally write myself as a monster that can't control his anger. If you clog Sam's plug thingies, his face will blow up. There you go. If you want to kill me, just clog my plug thingies, if you know what I mean. Are you okay? 9-year-old Sam, you want to talk to someone? I'm gonna give this a childhood therapy out of 10. And I think we're gonna leave it at that. There's a couple of other monsters in them, but one of them I think is a bit racially insensitive, so we're not gonna discuss that. If you would like to see any of these monsters in Scooby-Doo or Doctor Who, or do you want me to make my own TV show where I fight these monsters and find out the final monster is me, and I have to clog my own plug things.
I'm a motherfucking monster! What can you do when you're good?